Alright guys, Ramble Man on the road, doing my maiden voyage with this previously owned Corbin seat that I purchased. True to the feedback that I received in different forums, the seat does put me a little higher than stock and a little further back from stock. I'm a bit bummed about that. You know, in the driveway and sitting in the garage, it felt fine. But now that I'm out on the road, I mean, you can definitely feel the higher part. And it goes back to, do you feel like you're sitting in the bike or on the bike? And I feel like I'm on the bike. I just don't understand when Corbin, the two that I've owned before, have felt great, why this particular bike is giving them issues with the measurements. This is by their own website description. Now the curves feel fine, even though I'm back a little bit. I mean, that part feels okay. And maybe I would get used to the... Well, no, I won't. I was going to say, maybe I'll get used to sitting higher, but I never did with the Ultimate. Every time I was on the Ultimate, I just felt like I was sitting way up too high on the bike. So now I have a decision to make. I've had the stock seat on the past number of days and did some rides, and man, like 35-40 minutes into the ride, my back is just killing me. My butt, really, my butt was killing me. And you know, I didn't have a backrest on because I don't have one that goes with that seat, so yeah, my back started to hurt too. This is Corbins are hard to tell immediately whether they're going to work with your butt or not, because they're harder by nature. But I've liked both of my two previous Corbins. Let's see. I was going to turn around here, but I think I'm going to go to the church where I sometimes turn around and give this a little longer of a ride. May also want to put the windshield on and ride with it and see how that feels. I have really enjoyed having the stock seat back on because of where it positions me on the bike, but it's just such an uncomfortable seat for me. Some people have recommended, you know, the little seat cover things that I guess provide like some cushion, but they just look cheap to me to put on a bike. You know, everybody's got their own little taste differences. Those didn't quite go with me. If I don't go with this Corbin, the next option was taking the stock seat and sending it to one of these upholstery places that redo the foam inside the seat. And I hesitated on those, one, because it's expensive to ship the seat. Based on what I just paid, just over $100 each way, you know, to ship the seat. Two, once you screw with the stock seat, there's no going back, right? I mean, you can pay somebody to fix it, but you're not going to have the stock seat the way it was. And three was the mixed reviews. There were people that loved it, and then of course there were people wasting money, didn't do anything, over-promised, under-delivered, those sort of feedback. I also am not certain that the backrest that came with this is a Corbin. I went back through the thread. It looks like I asked, but then I answered it and it never got circled back. What I mean is, I had never seen the back of this backrest look like it does. It's got that winged wheel, and I asked if this was a Corbin because I'd never seen a winged wheel on a Corbin backrest. But then before he had a chance to answer, I was like, oh, I'm on their website and I see that they sell these back plates, and that's one of them. And he never addressed whether it's a Corbin or not. Now, it has a screw that secures it so somebody can't steal it, and I have that in. So I'm going to take the seat off, and when I do, if it's a Corbin, sorry, I was just making sure my turn signal's working. If it's a Corbin, it has Corbin written on the stem that goes into the seat, I believe. I also tried to see if there was a set screw that's supposed. Corbin backrest are adjustable, and in fact, you're supposed to be able to lay it down, I think. And this one is ramrod straight, can't bend it, can't move it. Now, it could be there's a set screw that is set so tightly it won't move. But there's also a chance it's not a Corbin and it just sticks in there and is compatible. So I gotta look at that. And then the final thing is, if I keep this, there's two things. On the heated seat, the previous owner switched out the plug connector with an SAE type, and I'm not sure, if all of his other plugs were taken. My bike has two unused, what look like accessory plugs of some type underneath. I don't know what type usually comes with the Corbin, but it's not that. I know it's not that. I just don't know what the connectors were, because I compared them online. So if I want to use the heated seat, I got to figure that out. And then two, if I want to keep the seat, my Indian luggage rack I bought is not compatible. I bought that luggage rack optimistically, assuming I was going to keep this Corbin seat, and I wanted to be able to do it all at the same time. But if I keep the Corbin, I need a luggage bracket. I can still return the luggage rack, which is why I went ahead and just bought it. But if I'm going to keep it, I got to have the bracket from Corbin that allow you to attach this luggage rack. I'm not exactly sure why you need it. I wanted to turn it back over. I installed the seat last night, but it was raining and night, and I didn't take it for a test ride. I wish I had my original Corbin backrest to compare. Oh, that's the other thing. I had a small the standard Corbin backrest on my Scout that I sold. And then when I bought the Super Chief Corbin, I went with their larger backrest because I thought, hey, that'll cover even more support. And I don't like it. I wish I had stuck with the smaller. But when I take this backrest off, I'm going to see if the Super Chief one if they're all the same type. I know on that Super Chief one, I think it does fold down. It is interesting to me that whatever I calculated, I think it was 9,000 or 10,000 miles or so that I had put on the Ultimate seat. I never got used to it. I was hoping I would just kind of forget about it. And there were times I definitely wasn't thinking about that I'm sitting higher and forward. But often I did. It just did not feel comfortable. This, I'm sitting backwards, so I'm not as cramped, which is good. Even though I like the stock position, I think I can deal with this. I'm hoping it doesn't exacerbate any shoulder, neck issues. putting risers on this bike, I think, would be tougher. I did that on the Super Chief, but with this large chrome head on the thing, and I'm sure it can be done to raise the bars. I just don't know what would be involved. And it changes the feel of the bike as well once you do that. I've always been hesitant to change the bars. I'm glad I did it on the Super Chief. They just had me leaning too far forward. Oh, also, I'll mention some of the people on the forums that I had read about this seat said that it was wider and it only impacted them when they had their feet down on the ground. There wasn't an issue when they had their legs up. And I can totally agree with that. That's what I am experiencing. That when I put my feet down, it makes the legs go out wider. So I don't have both feet down all the way. It's better than with the Ultimate, I think. But most of the time when I'm stopped, I have my right foot on the brake, so it's not critical that I get to have both feet down. You know, I'm trying to take inventory of whether I still have a slight bend in my arm. I don't want to be locked straight, and it depends on how I sit. You know, if I sit ramrod straight and back, I'm all the way extended. If I have my torso lean forward a little bit, the arms are bent. Overall, I think I would keep this seat. Another thing I need to address, I've been postponing it, is the scratch that's on my rear fender. I can't remember, I was doing some project and I think some exposed bolt scratched the rear fender, and you couldn't really see it when the sissy bar and the passenger seat was on it. But now that I have it off, it should have been fixed either way. I just been procrastinating. I think I'm going to put the backrest on and then come out for a ride. And then I'm going to put the windshield on and come out for a ride to compare that. And then I'm going to have to take the whole thing apart to get to the backrest and see if that's a Corbin or not. I'm going to say, just judging by first glance, another way to know I'm sitting a little higher is I'm looking over the screen more than I was on the stock seat. I'm not sure about the Ultimate. I think I took the Ultimate seat off before I really played around more with this windshield. I had the windshield on earlier this year when I first got, because I decided to wait to buy the windscreen until I knew I was going to keep the Ultimate seat. All right, we're out testing the windshield. I need to really get up to speed. I'm not sure this feels any better or worse. You know, I read reviews of windshields by other people that talk about how their windshield created a perfect bubble, a perfect pocket that they were riding in. And I've never had that experience with any of the windshields I've owned. I've had good enough, I'd say. And that's about where I'd put this one. I feel like this is the best I've had it, but you know, my head is bouncing a bit from the extra friction up top. their next tallest would be right on the edge of whether it be at my nose level, which is generally how these windshields are measured, is you want it to be at your nose level so you're looking over it. I'm higher than nose level now, but I think this is not bad. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is return home, and I want to get this backrest out of there and take a look at that, and take one more look at my wires under the seat for that heated seat. I'm kicking around whether to try to connect the luggage rack and why I need the $50 bracket from Corbin to install the luggage rack, but apparently I do. The sissy bar has my passenger backrest and the luggage rack that goes with that sissy bar setup, so I could always put that on. It would just look a little funny because I don't have a passenger seat on. I could put the Corbin passenger seat that came with us, but I don't really want to bother. See if this changes anything there. Hold on.